Hello, beautiful people. Today I'd like to show you how to make easy backdrop mountains for your diorama or your train platform. First thing you want to start with is an old couch cushion. What you want to do, and as you've seen I've already started, is you want to tear off a few pieces. Take your pieces and stack them on top of each other. Like I said, I took 3 pieces and I've stacked those up. And this is what they're going to look like when they're done. After I tore it into different sheets, I then took a barbecue skewer and jammed it through the top. I went straight through and I left it there, and then I took my pliers and I snipped it off. Then I took my hot glue gun and just shoved some glue and lifted up, shoved a little glue in there and lifted up, shoved a little glue in there. So I now have a nice rigid piece that's all one piece. In order to make my Jurassic World look the best I can, I bought a few of these little dino skeletons. What I'm going to do with this is cut it in half lengthwise, then put it inside of my foam so it looks like a fossil. Let's start by cutting this guy in half. And what's nice about this is by cutting him right down the middle, you'll see instead of just being able to do one of these, we can do 2 of them. And as with all of these crafts, you just can't mess it up. Even if you mess it up, and when people look at it, you tell them, yeah, that's the way I wanted it to look. Now what I'll do, take my pliers, cut off the ribs, cut off the neck, cut off the leg. Now we have a nicely scattered dino skeleton, ready to fossilize. So I'll put these pieces aside. I've taken my cut up dinosaur and laid them on the foam, pretty much the way I want it to look when I'm done. We'll just carefully attach this guy to the foam, one piece at a time. And that's how it's going to look. I've included a Triceratops up here at the top, as well as the running dinosaur down here at the bottom. And I've got them both hot glued in. And I also created this little fissure. I just took my X-Acto knife here and sort of ran it through there a few times to open that up. It's just going to give another interesting thing as people are looking at this on the platform. Next thing I need to do is paint the entire thing with some wet plaster. So you're just going to have it nice and liquidy here. And just paint everything. Paint your dino, paint into your fissure, paint everything. Pull it out and smooth it out because the couch cushion has got so many great porous features that you really want the eye to see. Get it in there, slop it in, and then pull it away. Don't be afraid about obscuring some of the details on your dinos. Explain that away as he's buried in rock, man. Cut me a break. You can only work with the plaster for about 5 minutes, so don't dilly-dally here. Get your job done. If you get too much plaster on, you're going to end up with smooth-looking areas of rock. So if you end up with a smooth piece of rock, put a little foliage on top of it. If no one's going to see the bottom or no one's going to see the back, you don't need to bother with it. So this particular piece, no one will see the back, so I'm not going to bother with it. Now I'm going to paint this using raw sienna. Now feel free to paint over top of the bones because we're going to paint those a different color later. Sometimes it's a good idea to just sort of mix all the colors together and not worry too much about getting it exact. In real life, because the fossils are going to be buried, the fossils will pick up the color of the rocks around it. We want the fossils to stand out a little bit, so we're going to make them slightly different color. And there's what it looks like. Now we just need to paint those dinosaurs a different color and we'll have something to work with. Now what we want to do is paint the dinosaur bones a slightly different color, make it pop out a little bit. What I'm going to go with is gray. I guess that's not a slightly different color. Slap it on. Again, a little bit of care, but I'm not too worried if I go over the edge. You want it to look nice, but you don't want to kill yourself while you're doing it. Heck, this is for fun. You might be doing this as part of your kids' project. You might be doing it for your own trains. Or you might be doing it for your video game display. Whatever it is you got. And there's what it looks like. I want to create a base to display our rocks on. So So I've taken an old piece of ceiling tile here, carved out a little angle on it. It'll sort of meet my table a little more smoothly. And again, you can't mess this up. All I'm going for here is a little bit of rough surface, so I'm just trying to trim off the clean edges. And like I said, a shrubbery conceals a lot of issues. And we'll paint this up. See it in a minute. So I got out the old sienna again. Just paint this all over everything. And this is what we got so far. Looking good. Add a little texture to your ground element. What I have here is prepackaged grass. You can use coffee grinds, you can use pencil shavings, you can use all kinds of different things. What it does is it just gives a little extra natural look, and if you sprinkle it on while the paint's still wet, then you're in good shape. We've got our base painted, and we've got our dinos ready. And I'm all set to start attaching things. The shrubbery is perfect for hiding whatever little inconsistencies you have, whatever gaps or openings or a little bit of missed paint. I always used to be afraid of putting color on, but I think I've gotten over that. I added a few extra little tufts up top here. Gives it a little bit more texture, a little more interesting things to look at. Also in that crevice that we created earlier, but I stuffed some of the lichen or lichen or however you pronounce it. I shoved it in there, so it gives it again another interesting little texture to look at. A couple other things I want to add in here are these little palm trees. I think these look terrific. I saw these also online. Very easy to make. In another video I'll show you. I'm going to put one here. Because we use the ceiling tile, it's easy to just drill a little hole in there and then jam the tree into that. And then we'll put a drop of hot glue in there and another little piece of lichen. So there you have it. Here's what it looks like finished. Let's see what it looks like in place. So here's our finished product in situ. You can see it blends well with the wall behind it. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave some comments. Watch back for some other videos later. Thanks.